Now, apart from being addicted to blue cheese and being about his chicken like it's a two-piece, CJ is kind of a strange rapper, man, I can't even lie. This is a rapper a lot of people have been asking me to talk about and give my take on. He blew up last summer with a song I know you're gonna recognize, Whoopty, Bitch I'm outside as I move it. Come on, you recognize that. Anyway, I might just have a thing or two to say about him, so yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, CJ, a 24-year-old rapper out of Staten Island, New York, who blew up last summer with the song Whoopty. At this point, most of us have at least heard the song once. If not that, you've most definitely seen it in your recommended section. CJ feels like one of those rappers who just popped out of nowhere. Like one day you woke up and then boom, there he was. Consider this video right here a first impression / first reaction type of video, because honestly, I don't know that much about his story. I don't know how he truly came up. Obviously, I'm gonna leave you with a little bit more than that. Don't worry, Blackie got your back. Now, Whoopty by CJ peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart earlier this year, February to be specific. The song's debut was at number 97 on the Hot 100 back in November 2020. The song samples an Indian record by the name of, I'm probably gonna butcher this, Sanam Ray Reg Singh, probably said it incorrectly. Anyway, shout out to all my Indian subscribers. Now, I mentioned this sample right here because honestly, that's what makes this song pop so much. That's probably the most memorable part of this record if you ask me. King Von and Chicago rapper Mimo 600 did actually rap on his sample on their record, Exposing Me, like 2 years ago, so that's where a lot of other people might have heard the sample as well. Like I said earlier though, if you haven't heard Whoopty by chance, which I doubt you've at least seen in your recommended section then, this song has been heavily pushed by the YouTube algorithm. It feels like this record has kind of been plastered everywhere. You hear it and you see it everywhere, but who really is CJ? That's a question I've been asking myself. Whenever a rapper blows up, right, initially people are flocking to the music because they don't really know the artist yet. It's almost like when you meet a person for the first time in a social setting and you start to like the person you're getting then and there, but as time progresses, as you start getting exposed to this person, maybe because you work at the same job or you have the same friends, you ask yourself, who really is this person? What are they actually about? Getting exposed to this person is another way of saying this rapper who just blew up, who I'm seeing everywhere in the industry, I want to know more about them. And that's kind of been my whole perspective of CJ. Whoopty is a really big record, no doubt. It's an undeniable hit if we're gonna approach it from the numbers, but can CJ avoid falling into the Panda effect? The Panda effect is a term that was created by the great, by the one and only, the GOAT, the legend, me, okay? Yes, it's me, okay? Definitely not trying to sound like a narcissist. The Panda, of course, comes from Designer's 2016 record, Panda, and the effect comes into play when a rapper drops a song that becomes so big it overshadows the rest of their discography. Essentially, that song becomes so associated with their name to the point where the majority of people instantly think about that song when they think about that rapper. If a rapper / artist falls into the Panda effect, it simply means that nothing you've dropped up until that point has surpassed the level of recognition that one song brought you. And keep in mind, everything is not strictly about numbers. There's a lot of cases where even in Designer's case, as an example, had another big song like Timmy Turner, but even if Timmy Turner had the same level of numbers Panda had, Panda will always come out on top, be superior, and always outshine simply because it's been so strongly and widely associated with Designer, hence the Panda effect. CJ is a rapper who at least at the moment can't speak for the future because who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, but he at the moment is far from being bigger than Whoopty itself. That's not the Panda effect because the Panda effect laser focuses on the artist's discography and not the artists themselves, but this is still obviously not a good place to be. Now, blowing up as a rapper itself is a blessing. Doesn't happen every day if you consider how many people are actually trying to make it as rappers, so I'm not saying CJ is in a bad position as in he's not in a blessed position. Let's cancel out the fact that he's currently at least a success in the industry due to the recognition Whoopty got. Can he keep his wave going and actually last beyond the Whoopty clout? There's two things about CJ I want to bring up. The first thing is, apart from the Whoopty blow up, one thing that caught a lot of people's attention when they saw him was, what race exactly is this guy? He obviously looks Hispanic, but he also looks like he could be invited to the cookout, aka black, or maybe does he have a little bit of Hispanic mixed with white in him? There's a lot of racial ambiguity written all over CJ. He's hard to pinpoint. Now, we do know that he is Puerto Rican, so that piece of the puzzle is obviously solved. Another thing I want to bring up regarding CJ is, apart from the music, there's not really much to him as a person. After watching a couple interviews and some of his Instagram lives, I'm noticing that he doesn't have a lot of personality or character outside of the music, which I think is a huge deal breaker. That could possibly take away some of the growth he would have otherwise seen in the industry. And it's not about being a dancing monkey or a clown, nothing like that. I'm just talking about things like being a relatable person, and that's not something that you do, that's just something that you are. You gotta keep in mind, people don't necessarily fall in love with the music, they fall in love with the artist. The music music most times, man, just gives the listeners a reason to support the artist. If there's nothing for your audience to chew on as far as on a character level, yeah, you might be hot for a little bit of time, but as far as longevity though, that's out of the equation. And the thing about CJ is, personally, I don't really consider him drill, at least not authentic drill. The kind of drill he makes sounds a little bit too commercial. There's no real passion behind the drill rap he's attempting at making. It doesn't sound like it's coming from the heart. It sounds a little bit too manufactured for my taste. You gotta keep in mind, something like Pop Smoke's untimely passing obviously left a huge void in the industry. And when did CJ blow up? After Pop Smoke passed away. There's always gonna be a hole that's trying to be filled. Big pause when a Pop Smoke or even an XXXTentacion, or how about a Juice WRLD, or even a Lil Peep aren't here anymore. Energies, styles, vibes, and the music itself is always gonna try to get replicated in the industry when there's a gap open because of how lucrative the business is, and that's kind of how I view CJ. His blow up was a little too convenient, you know, perfect timing, yeah, like Nav said, and on top of that, there's not really much to him as a rapper that makes him unique or makes me want to support him. He's a guy who got a really big song who did actually have some real industry connections from the get-go. His uncle, a man with the name of James Cruz, has been working in the industry for a while, so that part was handled. CJ has also been getting a lot of backlash for apparently being a fake blood. The red, which represents Blood Gang, is all over the Whoopty music video. I guess what happened from my understanding is people found out where he was from, Staten Island, and then word got around that he wasn't actually about it. Don't want to speak too much about that because I don't have an adequate amount of intel to do so, but all I'll say is you don't have to be gangsta to fit in, right? CJ doesn't strike me as, for lack of better words, a gang member. He doesn't strike me as the kind of rapper who has real mob ties, even though that's kind of the image he's portraying in the music. If that happened to be the case though, wouldn't surprise me at all. It's obviously a trend in hip hop to speak on that gang and have ops, but behind closed doors, you don't have any ops, you're not about that life, you never hit a lick, you've never pushed any weight in the streets like you claim. As a matter of fact, the only thing you've ever pushed is that shopping cart at the grocery store, at the produce section. The point I'm trying to make is I think it's important to just be authentic with who you are. If you're not about that life, make it very clear. Don't try to have one foot in and one foot out. At the end of the day, there's consequences that come with that life, and people will, like 6ix9ine always used to say, test your gangsta. So if you say that you're about it, then you will get tested. That's all. Speaking of 6ix9ine, I do see a little bit of 6ix9ine in CJ. I'm talking about the whole strategy of using gang culture as a way to blow up. For 6ix9ine, it obviously backfired. He got caught up in a storm, okay, got locked up and told on the gang. That led to the downfall of his entire gangster persona, and that's where that ended. I'm not sure what we can expect from someone like CJ, but all I know is that he's definitely a very strange case. But yeah, CJ is a strange rapper for sure. With that being said, the success of Whoopty is undeniable. It put him on the map big time, and here we are. What do you think about CJ though? Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and let's have a discussion about this.